a rider, you can come with me. If not, you'll be the one that believe in the lead. Got the home team advantage, we can get this cheese. We strong, we deep, we creep, we from the streets. You a rider, you can come with me. If not, you'll be the one that believe in the lead. Got the home team advantage, we can get this cheese. We strong, we deep.
So until then, we going in, hitting for wealth. I didn't know I can afford to rate we rent. The only family I got is Benny, Andrew, and Grant. Count 'em.
1, 2, 3, it's time for me to close shop. Give you new battle wounds from something that's top. And found at the dock.
And that's bad moves like driving 95 south, going north in the
I'ma get this money until the belly jig is up. As y'all get school bus, we is how to cuss. Poking with that big fork, get that milk money up.
silly bastards. Release the cream, got the home team advantage. This is Northern League.
If you a rider, you can come with me. If not, you'll be the one that believe in.
What's going on, everybody out there all across the land? Of course, you know you're tuned into the number one station on the net, WHLR1.com, Hotline Radio. This is the Keith Harris Show, and of course, I am your guy, Keith Harris. It's a blessing once again to have you all join us. And of course, we have another special guest, featured guest, as a matter of fact, on the show tonight. It's been about 2 weeks in the making, waiting, to talk to this gentleman on the phone, and we are very, very honored and very excited to have him with us tonight. He's multi-talented. He's serious. He's funny. He's cool. He's offensive at the same time. Everything that can make your day. Without any further ado, I'd like to roll out the red carpet for writer and performer Andy Julia. How you doing, man?
Hello, Keith. What's up, man? How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. What's tonight? Tuesday, Andy?
Hey, I think so. I think it's still Tuesday anyway.
Yeah, that's about what happened to me too. I was like, I've been thinking all day. I'm like, is it Tuesday or Wednesday today? After Monday went by, everything just got kind of crazy.
I know. Tomorrow I'll be like, God, this week's dragging. Oh my God.
I know, right? So, look. First of all, once again, on behalf of myself, and behalf of everybody else all across the land, we want to thank you for joining us this evening.
Oh, thank you. This is awesome, man. I love this.
And look, so I gotta ask. First of all, where are you from, Andy?
I am from Hamilton, New Jersey.
Oh.
It's like South Jersey, smack right in the middle, about 40 minutes away from Atlantic City and about 40 minutes away from Philly.
Oh, you right. You in a good spot. You between both sides of the excitement, and we're actually in Jersey, great place, and you got both things, so you could go either way, right?
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, we are known as the blueberry capital of the world in Hamilton.
Oh wow, that's what's up. Now, what was that because of the blueberries itself, or like fruit blueberries?
Yeah, it's the blueberry capital of the world. They got like the most blueberry fields here.
Man,
I guess this is what I've been told for 35 years.
It's a good
Whether
thing.
or not it's true, I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Hey, for all them listeners out there, anybody like myself, I know we're off topic, but listen, blueberry pie is my favorite pie, man. I go banana. I'd have blueberry pies every day out there.
Oh yeah, no, that's part of the reason. I was originally back probably about 6-7 years ago. I was 460 pounds, and I dropped 232, and I think probably about 200 of that was probably blueberry pie.
Yeah. I ain't mad at you, boy. I tell you, I try to pick that weight up myself. But look, where did it all begin? For you, man. Because listen, you're in the entertainment industry. You've been doing. How long have you been a performer? As a matter of fact,
pretty much my entire life. I started off doing like cartoon voices and driving my parents nuts.
Right.
And then, I would imitate my family members and, and piss them off and make them laugh at the same time. Well, once you get that initial laughter from one person, man, it's like a drug, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it carries through. So I would imitate my teachers in class. And I actually had one teacher, my English teacher, Mr. Heston, and he came in late to class one time. And I was standing in front of the class and I imitated him. And he walked in behind me, and I had no idea. I thought the class was still laughing at me. Here they're laughing because the teacher's standing behind me.
Oh,
and he actually gave me 2 more minutes on the floor. He sat down in his seat, and he was like, "You got 2 more minutes. Go right ahead."
Are you serious? What? Wow, that is cool right there. And I guess
very much encouraged my insanity back in the day.
Right. How was it? How did that? How was that able to carry over? I mean, because one thing that and I haven't really asked that question to other performers similar to yourself, and we know you do other things too. So everybody out there, we're going to get into his other talents as well in just a second. But one question I've never actually got to ask any a person in your position is, I'm sure you're a serious guy too. Okay, when how do you know? Not how do you know, but do you walk around the house sometimes and just crack the family up? You know what I'm saying, for the heck of it, or is it just all serious guy at home?
Brother, my house, I am the only man that lives here. I live with 6 women. I have 5 daughters. I have a lesbian ex-wife that I still live with. We still live together and we still raise our kids. So it's constant insanity in this house.
You have to have a sense of humor then, Andy.
Oh, yeah, you have to. They'll eat you alive, man. These broads will eat you alive.
There's no way. You know what? And I heard you speak about that before. I think I saw where your ex. Did you do that in a skit before?
Yeah. I talk about it in my stand-up routine.
Okay, I saw that, and it was hilarious. I rolled off the end of my chair, and I did not know you were serious.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. A lot of people are like, it can't be true, but it actually is true. My wife is a lesbian.
Right.
And when she came out and when she told me, I mean, I kind of knew the whole time.
Uh-huh.
When she finally sat me down and said, listen, here's the deal, I'm a lesbian. I was devastated, man. I mean, absolutely devastated. And more than anything, because she got more pussy than me in the last 10 years, you know what I mean? It was absolutely, it devastated me that way because,
You heard that, and I mean, and on a more serious note, it's good that you and for everybody out there, don't take this, because we're not poking, we're not punning intended. Like, at the same time, on the other side of the tracks, it's good that you both are still friends. You know what I'm saying? And,
oh yeah. And not only that, but it also, I mean, if it's serious part of my life, but it also, in dealing with her and helping her along the way, it actually helped me to understand things about the gay, lesbian, transgender, bi community.
Right.
And I've gone to, and I've done interviews at Philly Pride. I was 8 weeks at a club and resorts called the Pro Bar, where I was the only straight guy there, and it was all drag queens and gays.
Right.
But I mean, and the thing is, and let me just say this: as far as the gays are concerned, 8 weeks I was in a gay club, and I was booked there at the Pro Bar, and for 8 weeks they talk about expendable income with the gays. Not one time did anybody buy me a drink. Not once.
And you know what? I hear that often. I hear that often.
Didn't get hit on either.
I hear that often enough too, because they do spend money. Nobody can say that they don't spend no money now. They deserve their place in society in more than one way. And how was it? And you have to be tough too, because let's be honest, they do have a sense of humor. I mean, you have a lot of alternative lifestyle people out there who they have to be have a sense of humor just because of the certain things that they face. Was it any harder for you to make them laugh than anybody else? Were they a tougher crowd?
Yeah, you know what? At first it was, because I went into it just doing my normal. I actually held back on some of my material.
Oh. Okay.
And I guess about 2 weeks in, I was outside smoking a cigarette, and one of the drag queens,
right,
if that's what you want to call them,
right,
they came out. One of them came outside. I actually became really good friends with him, and his name's Phil, and he does Liza Minnelli in the show that they had down there. And he was like, I was like, that in my brain, because I was getting lashed, but not what I thought, what you want, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I talked to him about it, and he just told me, he's like, dude, do whatever you want. He's like, do whatever you want. They'll totally get it. It'll go over great. Trust me. Because I shot a couple things at him. And then the next performance, I went out there and I just I did everything I could possibly do. That crowd went nuts, and it was kind of like an acceptance thing, really, because like being the only straight guy in the place,
right,
you know what I mean? It was very, very strange at first, and then it became kind of normal.
Yeah, I mean, because they are normal, right? So,
oh yeah, but it's just like fish out of water kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Right. Well, your first time on, I mean, I know you say you've been able to tell good jokes, since young, but your first time stepping on to the stage and, in a venue and, professionally,
Right.
did you get any jitters?
What was that?
Did you get nervous at all?
I was nervous the first time I went on because it was through the dare. Me and a couple of friends went down to casinos, and it was Trump Plaza at the time, and we were walking through and just stumbled across an open mic night, and one of my friends dared me without anything. I didn't have anything prepared at all. They dared me to go up and just try it out.
Right.
So I went up there, signed up, and told the guy gave me 3 minutes, which seemed like a lifetime. 3 minutes was like forever when you're up on stage in front of people.
Right.
And so yeah, hell yeah, I was nervous as hell. And I went up there and I did some impressions. The crowd went nuts, and right after that, they booked me for the entire rest of the run for comedy shows, which was great.
Well, were you just like, even saying that you went up there as a dare and not having any material? I have to ask, were you like, how do you know just on the spot what to come up with like that? I mean, do you tell funny stories or?
That was the thing. I had no idea. And as soon as I saw the mic in front of me, I had to come up with something. I was just gonna. I think I stood there maybe for like 10 seconds, maybe a little less. I don't know. It felt like forever. I just stared at the crowd, and they're like kind of staring back at me, and I'm like, holy shit, I better do something, or they're gonna boo me off. It's gonna be like the Apollo, where they come out and they rip you off the stage. But so yeah, I just like dug through my head, and like anything that made my friends laugh or whatever, I just started doing, and it wound up hitting. I like hit it out of the park first time out, and then automatically I was loving it.
You know what? I just as you were saying that, I was just imagining what I would, I was seeing myself on stage right then, right? You say you're looking at the crowd, they're looking back at you, and I thought about what I would do for a second, and I would have. I probably my best outlet probably would have just my first joke. I would have just been like, "What the hell are y'all looking at?" and hope everybody laughed. You know what I mean?
It's frightening, man. When you're up there and I remember it so well. So when you go up there and you're just like quiet for a second, people are staring at you. And the place is packed with people between comics that are getting ready to perform or have performed. They invite their whole family out, so of course they're all there. And you're standing there, and you can't. At first, you're like, "What am I going to do?" You're in your head, and it's just like you're running through your head. What was funny? What was funny? What made this guy push his pants? You know what I mean? That's the shit. But you're like, "Oh my god, I got to figure this out." And it's like you better do it quick because they'll eat you alive.
Oh yeah, tomatoes in it. Yeah, is it true? And I asked this question for everybody else. I've never seen it done before. But just for all the people out there who may have never been to a comedy show and they just kind of watch, or hear what they hear, do crowds ever throw things at people?
I've never had anything thrown at me, and I've never seen anybody throw anything.
Okay.
I've seen comics get mouthy and get kicked out of places, but I mean that just happens. But never from the crowd throwing anything.
They get upset.
And they've really cracked down on heckling too in a lot of the comedy clubs. Because they just people got out of control.
Yeah.
I mean, usually if somebody starts, if they get real bad, they'll be escorted out.
Yeah, because people always want to, regardless as to any venue, people always need to show good sportsmanship, right? So.
Oh yeah.
And
the alcohol to it, and it makes everybody have some bigger balls.
Oh man, I tell you. Doing that, have you ever saw yourself in a place where you could ever take this into maybe an acting career? Because I mean, let's be honest, some people in the film and television industry that I talk to will always say being funny is one of the hardest roles that there ever is to play. With you being naturally funny like that, can you see yourself doing any film roles?
I'm actually doing a movie called By the Dashboard Light.
Oh,
it's
wow.
a Joe Ronca film. And in fact, I just got the call sheets for yesterday. He let me know that they're doing call sheets, and we were greenlit for production and everything. So that's going to be my first real film, which is so cool. Because I mean, yesterday I was getting bookings and blah 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 blah, and all of a sudden out of nowhere this popped up, and I auditioned for it in 2014. Kind of thought it was a dead project, and then all of a sudden, boom! This came out of nowhere and floored me. I'm like, oh, this is so awesome. I can't wait for this.
Wow,
It's called By the Dashboard Light. It's a comedy, which is great for me.
Right.
And I play the owner of a karaoke bar that the characters all hang out in. And I got some lines, so it's cool. I can't wait for that.
Oh, that's going to be exciting for you too, and you get to just kind of express yourself mostly in that. Right, and I'm assuming after this you'll continue on to try to audition for some more roles too.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the thing. I've wanted to be in entertainment since I was a little kid, and watching the old time TV shows, and I'm sure you remember Merv Griffin, Johnny Carson, and they would have these guests on that were just like,
oh yeah,
they were just amazing, and they would they really don't do it too much anymore, but you'd have there's a video circulating on Facebook right now. It was like George Gobel, Dean Martin, and Bob Hope sitting with Johnny Carson, and the three of them are busting each other's balls. Who's hashing at each, because they're smoking on the screen. Back then you could. And they were like ashing at each other when the one wasn't looking, he's ashing in his drink. And that's the kind of stuff, like the Rat Pack too. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I really want to bring back to entertainment because I think there's a huge gap there.
And you know what? People don't see that anymore. I'm sure that there are the newer generations or certain people who just don't even know that type of, I call it reality comedy. I don't know what the real name for it is, but it's like you say, when people are not just saying things funny, but are doing things funny that would make you laugh. You don't see that anymore.
Everything's very scripted, and you got to be careful with this or that or whatever somebody might say or do. And that kind of, I think that took away from a lot of entertainment. Whether it's talk shows, variety shows don't even exist anymore. And I think that's something that's a huge gap. I mean, you talk about wanting to watch something with your family. It's like reality shows are the closest thing to a real variety show that exists anymore is probably like Dancing with the Stars, where you can actually sit down with your entire family and watch it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't even know if people know what the term variety show even means.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? I was just talking, me and a friend of mine, he's also a comic, and he's actually running a show called 50 Shades of Gay down at the Taj Mahal in Atlantic City on September 12th. And he's a great comic, and he's really into it. And we talk about this all the time, about the huge gap that's there with variety shows. Like Avelli is his name. He's a great comic, and I'd really push for his stuff. So if anybody's in the area and wants to go down there September 12th, go see 50 Shades of Gay at the Trump Taj Mahal.
Oh, wow. Have they been announcing that? I mean, shameless plug, but have they been announcing that? I feel like I've heard that advertised before.
Yeah, it's been all over the place. I mean, I'm pumping it out. He's pumping it. It's all over Facebook. He's a fairly very popular comic. I think he ran the show in New York for a while. He's bringing it down to Atlantic City. He was very successful running New York. He's bringing it down to Atlantic City. The guy is great. We've actually we met performing together at the Taj for Bridgestone's Comedy Club inside the Taj Mahal, and that's become like the it place for comedy in South Jersey. Down towards with the casinos and everything.
Right.
And we actually met there, and we've had such a response for me, Ike, and another comedian named Corey Alexander to perform there together in a show that the booker is putting us together again for another show down there, probably either late October into November or something like that.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
The three of us just knocked it out of the park, and we all like working together, so it's a great thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now you also have been known to do some impressions. We were talking about earlier. But before we get into you, because I'm gonna ask you to do a couple, if you will. But
of course I will.
Well, how is that like doing any other type of comedy? Because being an impressionist has to have a difference. I mean, how difficult is that? Because listen, you're talking about the voice, the attitude. How do you put that together, or does it just happen?
I honestly don't know. I pick up voices quick. I always have. Since I was 5, 6 years old. It was cartoon voices first, and then it went into and then I watched all these old talk shows and I would do them. But whatever would make my dad laugh, pretty much, and his brothers, because they were a little older than me. His brothers were a little older than me. So maybe 10 years. So if it made them laugh, to the point where they're falling over, where they would say "Oh my God, you sound just like him," as I got older and my voice started changing and stuff. That's the ones. Those are the ones that I kind of hung with. You know what I mean? And then took them and applied apply them to when I first started out. That's all I was doing was impressions.
Right.
And I mean, and it got really to the point where I just wanted to do original material, not do voices anymore. So that's kind of what happened. I'd say it was like the natural progression into doing like your own thing in stand up instead of doing these voices all the time.
Right. I definitely send my congratulations to people who can, like yourself, who can do impressions, because I can't do an impression. I tried impressions. You know, the most simplest, like Scarface. Everybody does Tony Montana, and I can't do him. You know what I'm saying? I can't even get him right. But so what are some of the celebrity impressions that you do, or your favorites or something?
I think when I first started off, when I got a little older, it was mainly comedians that I loved, and like Rodney Dangerfield. You know what I mean? He would come out and he would just, you know, he would just say things like, you know, of course he had his bit, but he'd be like, oh, hey everybody, how you doing, honey? But, you know, you do something like that. But like, I picture him like if he was still alive now, and how he would be, you know, and he would be like, hey, he would turn around and he would be like, oh, my agent called me the other day, and he gives me this project, this new project called Sharknado. I can't wait to be in it. I asked my agent, I'm like, hey, listen, Bobby, what exactly am I going to do? Am I going to get guns? Am I going to kill these fish? No. And he said, no, you're going to use your face.
Hey, you know what? That was a good one. And I tell you what's crazy, right? Because it's ironic that you did that, because I was just speaking about Rodney Dangerfield. I think it was yesterday or the day before. And I had asked my lady, I was like, do you know who Rodney Dangerfield is? And she was like, no. She had no idea who he was.
A lot of people don't. I mean, it's amazing how the gap is just amazing. Because when I was a kid, I knew who Abbott and Costello were, the Three Stooges. There was like the 30s. Yeah. You're talking. I was born in 1970. You're 40 years.
Right.
Nobody now knows anything from like 20 years ago, let alone 40 years ago.
Look, Andy, almost 10. Oh, shoot, I go as far as to say from 10 years ago, people don't know. You know what I mean?
Right, you're right.
And I guess that's just a change. I mean, you know what? Because I think around that time, somewhere in the 10-year, maybe a little more range, is when social media kind of really picked up. And I think that's what really chopped the gap a whole lot.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because no one had to turn, because remember, there were times that you could even still catch certain shows that might have had Rodney Dangerfield in them. You know what I mean? But people were able to kind of shy away from that, you know, with having so many other choices due to social media, until it just kind of totally fell off. But wow, that was an amazing one. How about one more for us?
Here's one that gets me in a lot of trouble, all right? This is all right, it's Gilbert Gottfried. So, and this is original. This isn't like cited. I'm just putting it out there. This is not Gilbert's routine. This is straight from me. But it works because I didn't want to use a Gilbert bit, so I used my own.
Right.
Muhammad Ali. Everybody talks about Muhammad Ali and all his wonderful things that he's done all through his career. And I had a conversation the other day with somebody, and they told me that if Muhammad Ali could fight today and get in the ring, he would still be champion. He's very impressive. And I said, I'd like to see Muhammad Ali in the ring with Michael J. Fox and a bowl of Jell-O. And the first person who gets the Jell-O in their mouth wins. That would impress me.
Oh, damn.
So I get just like a shitload of hate mail over anytime I do that.
You know what?
If I write anything about Michael J. Fox.
Oh, man, you right, yo. I didn't even think about that part, Andy. Holy cow. Yeah. But you know what? That was a great job. It took me back. I'm sitting here, and you know what? And it also, alongside, you know, just doing the impressions and sounding like these people, you did it so well that it took us back to a time where we really felt like I was seeing this person inside my head. I was seeing Gilbert, and I think that's one of one of the good things about impressions, because, you know, a lot of people do them, but when you can hear an impression and then you just totally forget that someone's impressioning them and that it's not really them.
Right.
You know? Wow. That's
yeah, like, are you familiar with Jay Farrell?
Jay Farrell. Yeah, I am.
Oh man, he does killer impressions like Tracy Morgan and Chris Rock. I mean, they're like dead on, man.
Oh,
and
wow.
when you're watching this guy, you almost forget it's him. I mean, you're looking at him, but the way the voices are so good that you forget it all. You totally forget that you're watching a different guy doing these voices. It's amazing.
Right. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got me right then, because I'm sitting here. I'm not even seeing you. I'm just listening, and it's like, man. And you know, I feel like Gilbert's like coming through my speakers. You know what I mean? I was like, wow. Where what kind of plans? What kind of plans are we looking at? You know, for the future. I know you said you have some dates coming up for some comedy. You have the film coming out. Well, I guess with the film itself, you guys are going to be into pre-production, and so maybe that might land next year in 2016 or something.
Right.
For
yeah. Of course, I'll do I do stand up, you know, in between. I also have a day job because I got to pay the bills.
Right.
So that day job really gets in the way. But I know I do. It really does. And the one thing that's great about it is that I get to like try out material while I'm doing my job. It's the best. It really is, because like I'll throw something past somebody. I've actually had like people that, like, I don't know if you're familiar with like grocery business or whatever, but some of these receivers and grocery managers think they're gods.
Right.
And you can't. I mean, when you take over anything, you always hear like, "Oh, this one's a bastard." You know, you can't deal with this one. What a bitch. Whatever. I've actually become friends with these people. They come out to my shows, so it's really a cool thing. As much as I can't stand this day job because it just, like I said, it gets in the way of everything.
Well, you know, it's good because it gives them something that they're not. I mean, you know, people, you know, to the everyday average guy like myself, you know what I'm saying? You know, with the day job too, you know, we don't get as close to people like yourselves without having to see them on television, or, you know, without having to catch it on Netflix. So I think, you know, it's good for them, because then they get to see you, they get to talk to you, to communicate with you, and it gives them a chance to go out and say, hey, I know this guy. You know what I'm saying? And I know it worked. It definitely helps them get the day gone faster.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Because, I mean, they're bogged down all day long, just like the rest of us are, with jobs and, you know, families and everything. You need that little break. It gets monotonous after a while.
Right. Hey, look, you probably, you might not know it, but you probably done helped mend a few relationships out there.
Oh, probably. Yeah, not me.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? Not me. Yeah.
But let me tell you something. The one thing I know, growing, you know, being here with 6 women in my house constantly that I live with, you would think that I'd be an expert on women. I don't know jack shit about women.
I bet.
My girls both getting older, and I have a 21-year-old, I have an 18-year-old, I have a 16-year-old, I have an 11, almost 12-year-old, and an 8-year-old. And the 3 older ones all get their lady days now. You get me?
I get it. Right.
And I'll overhear stuff, and I don't understand it. And the ones that I heard them talking at one time about all cycling together, and I thought they were starting some like female biker gang, you know, like sisters of menstruation or some shit, you know. So I know. The only other thing I really know about women is that, you know, I'm sure, and I'm willing to bet if you go into any of the houses in the WNBA, trash can in the bathroom that's like 3 inches away from the toilet, they miss it constantly. So, you know, I'm always walking in and there's like panty liner wrappers that like get stuck to my feet in the morning, and I walk out like crinkle with like, you know,
man.
pad wrapper slippers on, you know what I mean?
Oh.
So, and the only other thing in my house that's a male is my dog, and I think he's queer. I'm not sure. But,
you say, look, so it might be one. You say it might be one extra female in the house.
Yeah. So that's the thing. I was like so happy when the dog's a rescue dog. So I really thought, I'm like, oh, it's a male. This is going to be great. No, he's like, I swear he's queer.
Yeah, he's looking at you. He's sitting on the couch looking at you like, what are you thinking?
Exactly. He's constantly like, bitch.
What?
Like, get off the couch. He looks at me like, bitch.
Wow. Listen, look, but before we get ready to get out of here, man, let everybody know again the date, the next date you're coming at. For everybody, if you're going to Atlantic City, I know the weather's still nice in a lot of places. People are still on their vacation. You have to stop by and catch this guy, and catch Andy Julia. Where you going to be at, Andy, next?
All right, I got, well, this week I'm going to be in South Amboy at Bridgestone's Comedy Club. I'll be, the following Friday, I'm going to be at House Pub. It's the 21st. House Pub's in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. I'm just hosting that gig. And I bring a lot of comics in from Philly and Jersey and New York. They come down and get stage time, so it's great for them. Right. But the next time I'm going to be actually doing my full routine will be September 25th. I'm going to be at the Taj Mahal, Bridgestone's Comedy Club, inside the Taj Mahal Casino, me and Reverend Bob Levy.
Okay.
And there'll probably be a couple other comics. The lineup isn't like secured yet, so I know for a fact it'll be me and Bob Levy. Reverend Bob Levy.
Wow, that's going to be cool. You know what?
Yeah.
And I probably hear I probably hear some of the listeners and the fans echoing in the back of my mind saying, echoing to me saying, we love to catch about maybe 5 minutes of Andy's performance on the Keith Harris show live or something. You know what I'm saying? Like from the Taj Mahal or something, man. So, before you get ready to go on stage or when you come off, we'd be honored to be able to talk to you, just check in with you, see how the show went, and maybe hear a few pieces, as a matter of fact.
Oh, absolutely, man. And anybody who's listening can add me on Facebook. Just look up my name, Andy Julia, Julia, and it's a picture of me on stage. That's my profile picture. Mm-hmm. Add me on there. I post stuff daily. I'm like up to 5 packs of Facebook a day. I'm constantly posting on there. Anything I could possibly think of that's like ridiculously stupid or just funny to me, and I post it on there. There's video up there. There's like a 4-minute video from my last time I was at Taj Mahal. Mm-hmm. The other thing I did want to mention is there's I'm big on charity,
right?
And performing for charity and supporting any charity that's worthy of support. Right. There is a 2-year-old girl from Northeast Philly, and her name is Kenzie, and she's been diagnosed. I mean, this kid's just 2 years old. She's been diagnosed with cancer. She's been through the mill, and you can find a link on my Facebook page. I'll repost it after the show tonight. It's called Kisses for Kenzie. The family is absolutely devastated over this, obviously, and they have a GoFundMe page just for the hospital bills and everything, and just to help her out. So I'm hugely supporting this, and like I said, it's called Kisses for Kenzie, and you can find it on my Facebook wall. Okay,
and also too, when you do get a chance to as well, tag it to my post. That way, after the show tonight, when I'm done, I can catch it and go ahead and put it up there as well, so people can find the link too.
Keith, that's awesome of you.
Absolutely, man.
Thank you very much.
No doubt. Listen, before we go, any shout outs to the house or to any fellow comedians, colleagues, anybody?
Yeah, you know what? Let me say hi to my 5 daughters, because they're probably in the room. I kicked them out of the kitchen. I'm in the kitchen right now, which is like my area. Yeah. The fat guy. I'm fat and Italian, so the kitchen is mine. And so I made them all go in their bedroom. Right. So shout out to my daughters, Selena, Jennifer, Cammie, Kenzie, and Kay. Love yous. My comic friends that I'm the closest with, and I love everyone that I perform with, because they're just awesome people. But Chris Hayes and Jay Watkins, who I do everything with. If you check out videos on my page, the black dude that's in the videos, he's like my closest friend, and we love to do things that are just edgy and stupid, and you'll get a huge kick out of them. So check that out for sure. Jay Watkins is his name. Chris Hayes is a really good friend of mine. We always work together, do shows together. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to tell you right now. There's a few comedians out of Philadelphia that everybody needs to watch for. These are like powerhouse comics. One is new to the scene. Her name is Domo Jones. She is phenomenal, and you're going to hear that name for the next couple of years, and she's just going to get bigger and bigger. Lump Hamilton's funny as hell. he's just going to keep getting bigger. And my buddy Simply D is a great comic. So keep your eye out and follow them on Facebook if you can find them or whatever. On my page, they always comment. They always have video. They are just phenomenal comedians.
Absolutely. And I'm assuming also, excuse me, I'm assuming also for all the other film, people that are casting for films and different things of that nature, make sure that you check Andy Julia out as well, because he's doing, like he says, he's doing the movies now. He's a great comedian, and you definitely want to cast him in your project. And, and
I will travel. I do not mind.
I know that's right.
I love traveling.
Right.
And I'll do anything. I don't care what it is.
Look,
except gay porn, because I'm not too sure. I saw this thing where these, real quick, I'm sorry.
Good.
But these straight guys that do gay porn, and full-blown gay porn, like penises in their mouths. And then in the interview, they're saying they're not gay. I'm like, all right, I don't know how that works.
Right. Okay.
I will not be doing that. I will do straight porn.
Yeah.
I'm hung like a can of tuna, though. So, I may have Smallhoppers disease. I'm not sure.
Oh, you're killing me, Eddie. Oh my God, I ain't never heard that one, man. I'm gonna use that one, man. I'm gonna say that to somebody, man. I ain't gonna steal that one and go on the road with it, but I'm gonna say that to somebody. Oh my God, like a can of tuna. Oh man, look, Andy, man, we gonna get. Damn, we gonna get out of here, man. Look, Andy,
hi, buddy.
It's been a pleasure. Go on my wall sometime, man, and leave some of that crazy stuff, man.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Oh my goodness, have everybody rolling. Listen, everybody out there all across the land, you've been enjoying the show. I can barely talk now, Andy. You've been enjoying the Keith Harris Show with myself and Andy Julia. Make sure you check him out. He's coming up at September 25th at the Taj Mahal. He'll be at Hal's Pub as well. And don't forget to check out the link that'll be posted on the page to Kisses for Kenzie as well. Make sure you go check that out too. Also, in case you were just tuning in or you missed a bit of the show, the full conversation between Andy and myself will be posted on social media in just a little while. So make sure you do check it out and tune in. Andy, keep doing your thing, bro, and we will be talking soon, my man.
Keith, thank you very much. Your listeners can hit me up on Facebook. Like I said, add me if you want. Andy Julia, Julia. I'm also on Twitter at AndyJulia.com or whatever it is on Twitter. You can also find me on Instagram under Angela70. ANGALOT. I'll put all those links on your page.
Do that, my friend.
Keith, I really appreciate this. Thank you very much.
I honored to have you on, my man. I'm gonna stop. I got to stop. I got to get that joke on my mind before I go to my next guest, man. I'm gonna be laughing.
Yeah, man. Let's do this again sometime.
All right, for sure, Andy.
Thanks a lot, man.
Bye, bro. Everybody out there all across the land, that was Andy Julia right here on the Keith Harris Show. Don't touch that dial. We got my main man, Chico Santiago, coming up in just a few minutes.